you want me to start, Patrick?
Yeah, I just started. So what about today? I'm a bit lost, Stephen.
So basically today is the 18th webinar,
Yeah,
and
and
we're going to
we
be running
we
through.
launched 1.21
Yes.
probably yesterday. So everybody now should have 1.21. It should be available everywhere. Mm. You still have, I don't know if you checked, but when you do the update, you can now do the update from the app. So you just go to settings, and if there is an update, it will just check on the server and it will redirect you on the place where you can download the update. So you just go to settings, and if there is an update, you can go. So the main news, apart from various bug fixes and so on, is the causal chain that we started talking about last week. And what we wanted to do this week was jump on the opportunity of talking about one of our users' scan to explain how to read the priorities and maybe how to do your own priorities with the new causal chain. If you need more clarifications on some of the points. Before we go into the causal chain, we have some various news in the latest version. So it's better on a mobile phone now. So we use more space. We just hide the menu if you use it on a phone, which is better, especially for the causal chain. We also have some news in regards of the user flow. Let me just show. If you want to invite a new user, you can do it in one click now. So you just click here. Sorry, let's go back. When you work on a specific client, you just click here to change the client. And now you have a button here, invite a contact, which will prepare an email that you can share. You can share the link or you can share the text and send it by SMS or WhatsApp or anything. Of course, you cannot send the email directly because it's for a contact that doesn't still exist. But the thing is that they can just install the app and enter your invitation code, which is P and then your registration ID. And then they can create the account. After that, it will be linked with your own pro account. And so everything they will do will be accessible from your own pro account. They will appear in your contacts and so on. So it's quite easy. You just click on invite a contact and you can copy this text, or you can just send this invitation code, and you can even send the link. When you copy the link, you see that it says invitation code P20 and so on. It means that when people use this URL, it will say use your invitation code, enter your invitation code and so on. So everything is explained here. It should be easy for any user to follow these instructions. Of course, if you create the contact and you enter the email and you send the invitation, it's exactly the same, except that you will have pre-created an account for them. Whereas with this, it will be the same link for everybody with the one I just showed, and people create their own account by themselves. Another news is that just to make things more logical, if you are currently on an open record and you click anywhere here on the basic programs, it will save and close your record, and you will enter the basic programs so that you can switch from one open record to the basic programs, which makes more sense. But if you go to the priorities, you still have access here with the plus to the existing basic programs if you want to change the priorities that has been computed for this particular user. So the separation between basic program and personal program is more straightforward. We also have a new license level, which I should use another account to show you, but basically when you go to settings, there is a new license level which is called custom, which would allow you to choose here the menus and zones that you want, which are in this list, which are all the screens that you have in the scan analysis. So for instance, all the different body screens, meridians, momentum, organisms, and so on. So you can choose à la carte what you want. And the idea is that you can do three screens that are always unlocked for specific usages. So it makes an intermediate price point for between Essential and Pro. And you can still buy, when you are on this license, you can still unlock a few reports and all screens by just buying reports individually. So let's just dig on the causal chain, but maybe the main thing we wanted to do today is to see with Christine how she interprets the priorities and work on Frédéric's priorities to see how she sees it and how it could be done. So, je vais t'installer là. Oui. Tu le veux en anglais ou en français?
En anglais, c'est...
OK. Donc là, c'est les priorités qu'ils avaient trouvées. Ça te rappelle celle que tu as vue hier? C'est bon, c'est les mêmes? Ou tu veux voir la chaîne causale?
Alors, with Frederick, we have he have a problem with his eye, and the first thing he could note it was there is no eye in the priorities or in the resources, no eye. And so when I analyze all this scan, it became very clear to me. It's because there is a rupture of connection between the eye and the rest of his system. It's because it's not rare with a case like tumor, because tumor are the results of a rupture of connection, of communication. It's sort of isolement, on dit, ou isolation? Isolation of this subsystem, because the reason, I think I can tell you about that just a little later. So there is no connection with this eye, and it's why this eye is has very low energy and very big disease. And it's the reason why the scan can't find him, because there is in the electric, comment j'appelle ça dans
Dites-le en français, puis je vais traduire.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Dis-le en français si tu veux.
Ah, pour toi, et tu traduiras. Ah ouais. Dans l'activité électrique.
Electrical activity.
Electrical activity of your body. There was no resonance with UI, because it's
Okay.
because there is no communication now, or very, very, very low. So I searched UI in your scan with causal chain.
Uh-huh.
And yes, I find UI.
So you just click here to pick the biomarker, and you can just search by keywords and just take the organ eye, click on it, which will give you the eye in the center and everything related
Okay.
to it. So we are currently on organs. But
Organs.
we can also check the TCM points, the drives, and so on.
So with organ, we can see there is very, very, very few green line. It's yes, just the better one, the best one is in the resource coin, yes, and it's about spinal cords, and it's the only thing who can give a little energy to your eye. And there is another one, but it's about teeth.
Oui, c'est les dents. Ça.
Yes,
Mm.
so it's not so relevant for that.
You remember that this is organized exactly like the petal. So it means that in this corner, we have the resources because it's high energy and low agitation. Here we have high energy, high agitation. Here we have low energy, low agitation. And here low energy, high agitation. So it's the same as the petals. It's organized in the same way. And the green one are the ones that are nourishing the one in the center, so it's nourishing the eye. As you can see, it moves towards the eye. And the blue one are nourished by the eye. So your eye has low energy, but there are some items here that have even lower energy and that are in resonance with it. So it also takes some energy from the eye.
What are those things?
It doesn't really matter for no.
Okay.
Some teeth, some muscles,
Yes.
extremities lower left, sacroiliac joint left, muscle extremities left. Okay.
Left, the side of left. Attends, left, c'est.
Gauche.
But even in French, it's impossible for me. And
I know. Come for my femme.
Mother side, okay. So,
You can.
alors, I search. So I discover UI. Yes. But there is very low element nourishing UI. So, but I want to find further. So I click on the spinal cord.
And so when you click on it, you will put it on the center and see what is in relation with the L1 in the spinal cord.
And yes, best helpers, and just show me spinal cord, vertebra. Yes, it's always the same thing. Okay, so I understood there is no significant element. It's like UI are just able to can just pick. C'est ça, attraper ça? Grab energy from sort of global system. And spinal cord is like your global system. So it's just logical. It's just a way of survival. But it's a last result. Okay. And when I discover this isolation of UI, I understood the UI is very isolated, and it's surely about old trauma, like psychological trauma, like in childhood.
Ça, tu l'as vu dans les drives ou dans...
No.
Non? Tu l'as vu dans l'analyse?
No, because it's the way I see the isolated element.
Okay.
And each cancer and tumor is like that. And so when I want, it's very funny because it was very funny when I wanted to program Programme en programme, comme on dit.
Oui, programme.
Programmer un programme.
Ah, make a
Yeah.
program.
Make a program. For you, I imagine from my experience to connect UI with the tissue, conjunctive tissue, with other global system in your body, spinal cord, and I could not, BioCoherence a fait tout ça, made all of this before me. So it's wonderful.
So you check the priorities?
Yes,
and it was...
I checked the priorities, and there was all what I want to put in it. So so now the thing to do for you is maybe do a program. Comment les programmes de base, tu les as appelés comment?
Basic programs.
Basic program about detox, because I made one about that, which is concerned.
It's here now. So if you update the basic programs by clicking here, you will have in energy, you will have a new program which is called detox.
But it's not hard detox, but it's global detox. Donc it's never hard. It's never too hard for our system. But it's larger than just a physical program. It's about energy and spirit. It's about eventually entities or rituals. Okay. It's not put like that exactly, but you know. And maybe there is some limitation that can limit the guérison, the
Healing.
Yes. And it's a good thing to do thorough detox. And the other thing you have to do is enter in connection with what can't you see, what it's impossible for you to accept to see. And it's a key here, and BioCoherence can do a lot of things, but there is a limit for that. But BioCoherence can accompany you during your reconnaissance. Recognition of the real reason, the real cause, psychological cause.
Anyway, one of the reasons that the eye is not in the priorities is that you cannot directly work on the eye energetically. You have to make a path around this, and maybe the eye will start coming up in the priorities in your next scans, but not in the first one.
Yes.
And that is pretty common when you have a big problem like a complete rupture of communication like that. It doesn't show in the first scan. And
it's
if you want to understand why,
counterintuitive,
yeah, if you want to understand why, you go to the causal chain and you see that it's not very connected to anything meaningful, and that's probably why it doesn't show in the priorities, because you cannot work directly on it. You have to work on different elements that show up.
Okay, I see.
But il y avait le méridien de la vessie in the priorities, for example, il me semble, non?
Lung et péricarde.
Péricarde, yes, connected with your life project, it's a minimum. And so it's a very good idea. Il y avait quoi? Il y avait mal de tête et genoux.
Ouais,
maybe there is a link for, there is your knee. So
yeah.
In French, we can understand a lot with knee because the word is genou, and genou, it's like a composed word with two words in French, je, nous, I, us. So it's I
Ah,
in
c'est
the us.
intéressant, oui, oui.
Okay. So it's sort of it's a good uni is good for you now. It's sort of resource because it's a learning organ. So you are learning something about the relation between you and the group, and whatever the group, your family, working group, society, I don't know, it's you, you know.
Mhm.
And so there is a resource in this. And maybe you can question, c'est ça, questionner?
Ouais.
You can question you place in an old group, like the family of your childhood or school or whatever. So because there is a thing, maybe you can remember, or maybe you can have a clue about that because it's a big thing.
It could be intergenerational, though,
Yes, also, of course.
because I think that is more the sequence of events expressing through. But can you tell me if it's left or right knee or both knee? Quel genou?
Now,
We don't have this
no,
information, but
it's just a recipe of.
But in the causal chain, there was a lot of elements from the left side, so maybe it's linked to that.
The left side, it's the side of the mother in this life, in Occidental way of
I
thinking.
thought it was the father.
And it's the father before this life.
Oh, interesting.
Because in the Eastern, c'est ça, culture,
Yeah.
I understand. I think it's not this side or analyzed or understood in from the karmic point of view, and in the Western way of thinking, it's analyzed from the present point of view, this life. So
Strangely, it's the same one in both lives for me.
Maybe.
Okay, interesting.
Ils m'ont lu ça, ils m'ont dit ça une autre fois. Okay.
And another thing, so either you can do the basic program, for instance, in the morning for cleansing, c'est ça, c'est detox, and your custom program in the evening, for instance, but you can also combine the two. And if you want to do that, you can just go on the plus to add some priorities to your custom program and go to energy and go to detox. And then you just click here to add all the priorities with your basic program, and you will have a combined basic program, so you can do only one every day if you want.
Okay. But it's a frequency detox. It's not about diet or anything.
No, it's a frequency.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. Okay.
But it also addresses the thing during your meditation. So it's not only frequency, but it also helps you focus and manage your inner energy with everything related to what is necessary to do this detox.
So what's the steps to get to detox again? Start where?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going again. So either you are into your recording and you want to add it so that you have only one thing to do every day. So one harmonic boost and one personal guide. For that, you go to priorities. You click on the plus here.
Where do I click?
Sorry. On the plus on the top right.
Top right plus. Okay.
Okay. Here you can add either some pre-computed priorities, or if you go down, you can add the contents of some basic programs. So you click on energy and you go down to detox, and then you have a button on the bottom to add all priorities at once to your current priorities.
Detox to all priorities. Okay,
Okay.
26 priorities.
Yes, if
Yeah.
you do that, you will have a big program that will change every day for your 21-day program. The other solution is to keep your priorities at a lower count. So currently you have 18 priorities, and to do 2 programs every day. So for instance, on the morning, you would just click on energy, and you will click on detox, and you will click on harmonic boost or personal guide, and you will do only the detox. And then maybe on the evening, you will choose your recording. You will just open it and play the related. Sorry, let's do it, and just play the related personal guide. Okay. So if you want to do 2 separate sessions, you can keep them separated. But if you want to do 1 big session, you can just include them into your priorities.
Okay.
So that's up to you.
So, yeah. And then it has to be with like sitting quietly and listening to the whole 51 minutes of program.
It's best if you want to do that like that. You can also just play the harmonic boost, not very loud, just in the background. And you can also do the personal guide, but remove the voice. Some of our users do that.
Right.
They just play the personal guide, maybe several times a day, but without the voice, which means that it will be mainly the frequencies that will be in the background.
Or can I put the headphones in my pocket and just listen to the
Yes, you can also do it.
play it without listening in my ear?
Yes, and then you would just launch the harmonic boosts.
Just the harmonic boost, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope this is useful for everyone. I don't want to take up everybody's time.
No. I think it's interesting because everybody, the question of why is my main problem not in the priorities is
Right.
one of the most common question. And if you
Yeah.
you come from an eye problem and you don't have the eye in the priorities.
That's right.
Yeah, the reason is because usually it's not the first entry point to resolve your current issues. So it's not the highest in the priorities that is computed by the system.
It gives me there's a question I have. I'm lucky, if you like. I know that I know where it is because I can see it. There's a physical space there, right?
Yeah.
But what about a tumor? Some people have tumors that they don't even know. They don't even know they have the tumor, and it's not showing up in the priorities. Maybe somebody has a tumor in their intestines or something, and it's getting worse, but it's not showing up in anything. So you can't even go around the energy side.
Yes, but there are other priorities, and you must enter the system by something else.
En fait, je vais dire, tu vas traduire,
Ouais.
si tu veux bien. Quand il commence à y avoir un problème et qu'une tumeur est en train de se développer, il y a encore une grande connexion. Et donc, on le verra.
Okay.
Yes, she said if it's a growing tumor that just start, it's still very connected, and so you will see it on the scan.
Yeah, but I see this tumor. I've already had 3 surgeries where they cut out some of it, so it's very disconnected. I hear what you're saying, but if it was in its initial stages, like 15 years ago, it would have probably shown up somewhere in the reading.
That's also why it's a very interesting preventive way of doing things, doing regular scans. And so the other thing I wanted to show you is that if you want to completely change your priorities, you can use this new causal chain. Okay, so let's say you go to the priorities and you start analyzing this, and some of it makes sense for you, but some of it doesn't make sense for you, and you really have one specific issue that you want to work on. So I don't know, let's say, okay, let's work on the head. So if you click on the head and you see some information, you can directly click here on causal chain. which will show you all the relevant information about that. That's big, very big connections. I think it's a... No, c'est le mien.
Sûr que c'est pas la mienne, non?
No, c'est I change the scan.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, okay, it has to rebuild at the in the beginning, so it will all compute. What you can do is if you go back to your priorities and you empty the priorities, so you click on the plus, and you can just remove them all. So at that point, you have absolutely no priorities, but if you made it by mistake, you can always add again the K priorities automatically. Of course, it must be finished. Non, c'est bon.
C'est bon.
Non, c'est bon, je pense. Bah, je te rappelle si...
Oui, je suis là.
Ouais.
I stay in the room.
Thanks, Christine.
Hi.
Okay, I should have pre-computed it. It would have been quicker. Yes, okay, now we are back. Okay, so you can always remove all priorities and add all key priorities in one click like that. So it will be quick, of course. Yes, now you get it. So you can see the automatic priorities, or you can maybe go into, I don't know, organs if you want, and see other priorities. If you remove everything, you will have more suggestions in this group because it will only show you the ones that are not yet into your priorities. So if you remove everything, you see the low resource group here. But if I add them and I go back then to organs, the low resource is not here anymore because they are already all integrated here.
Why is the ones that are priorities still reading like a full color flower that is balanced? I'm confused about why they show up as in priorities rather than resources.
It's true. It's because priorities take into account the general state of the flower, but also the qualities and the links.
Okay,
it means that there is a whole algorithm that calculates a priority score, and it's not only the petal that is taken into account, but it's also the qualities here and the general links.
Okay.
So what I wanted to say is that if you remove them all, you can always re-add them all in one click. So don't be afraid to remove the priorities. And maybe you want to just add some priorities here, and you just have to click like that. Okay. So let's say you have some priorities like that, and you want to work on a specific problem, which was in the causal chain. Okay, that's better. So you want to work on the, let's say, the eyes. Again, it's not yours, Frederic, it's mine. You see, it's quite different. So it's not a good example because everything is in resource, but you can say, okay, you want to work on the eyes and you want to see the best helpers. So maybe the ones that are helped by the eyes. I am currently in the acupuncture points, but maybe I can go into organs. And you can just go from one organ to another. Okay, let's say there is a bit too much information here. Let's say you want to work on this one, you put it in the center, and you see you see the history of your research here. So you can also add it and go again on top of the best helpers. So this one. And add it. And continue searching if something can help the pituitary. It doesn't seem so. So you go back to your eyes, and then you start searching into the TCM points. And again, you can search into the best helpers, but maybe your strategy is not only to see the best helpers, but you can also see which one will increase the loose control, or will increase the horizon, or will increase the intention. And all of these points could be interesting. The best helpers tends to increase everything at best, but not necessarily absolutely everything. So for instance, this one will enhance everything except the chaotic aspect. Same for this one. Same for this one. So you can just search everything that could be interesting and put them in the center. And if you don't remember what GB8 is, you can always click on it and get some information here. You remember? So here you will have a lot of information about it. And if you find it interesting, you can add it to your priorities. And go back to everything you were looking for. And in that way, you can do a complete new set of priorities that would be based on the causal chain and the different items that would be relevant to your particular problem. So it's another way to do the causal chains. And honestly, that's what I wanted Christine to do for today for you. But then she looked at the automatic priorities and she said, oh, I don't have anything to change because the automatic priorities are absolutely fine for him at this point. So you can, it seems the automatic priorities algorithm is efficient enough to find all the most important entry points at the time of the scan. If you have a particular client that want to work on a specific problem, maybe you can just clear the automatic priorities and go to the causal chain and try to find all the relevant upper causes and all the items downstairs that take energy from this particular element and build the priorities based on this.
But it seems not necessary if it did it automatically.
Yes, that was the good point.
Yeah.
She said just go with the automatic priorities, and it will work on everything that is the most necessary at this point.
And what would be the confirmation that it's working? Would the tumor get smaller? Is that something that?
So you will see. You will do some reanalysis during the so some new recordings, some reevaluations. Sorry. And so you will see some markers that will evolve. And of course, you should see some physical effects in your body.
Because if there's no baseline related directly to the tumor, it's automatic priorities. There's no way to know whether the priorities have changed or anything got better because the eye is disconnected.
What you will do is Voilà. What Christine says is it's not entirely disconnected, otherwise it would be dead. So it's just that it's isolated, but other things can help it in your system. And these other things should be the automatic priorities. So you should start working with it and do your 21-day program. And at the end of the program, you can do another brand new scan, which will come with a brand new set of priorities. Which will be, okay, know that your system has evolved for at least 21 days. Let's see how your system has found a new equilibrium point somehow. And based on this new equilibrium point, the software will find a new set of priorities that you can now work on at this stage. So each of the 21-day program should be a journey on its own, with the set of priorities that has been decided either by the software or with your practitioner at the start and worked in this circular way. And at the end of this journey, you can start another journey by doing a brand new scan and going forward with a brand new set of priorities.
Alors, je pense que UK, it's a good... c'est un... a good case to understand the practitioner has a role to play here.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can accompany
Accompany.
With this idea, for example, play the frequencies during you put sous tes yeux. While you put under your eyes. Comment on dit sous sa vue? Enfin, pas sous l'œil, mais...
In your vision, in your view.
Sous les yeux.
You, yes. Picture or things you love to see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Because I was going to ask you that maybe one of the ways that you can check the measurement is in the last 6 months, my vision in this eye has deteriorated, maybe 25, 35%.
Yes.
So maybe instead of, it's harder to measure the size of the tumor, but the optic nerve is being squeezed. So maybe it would be easier to see if the vision improves.
Yes.
Maybe that would be a sign that something energetically is changing in the whole system.
And physically too. And we have feedback from Dan that it actually works just with the basic program with 1010 vision.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a program that you can do too. And you can take some basic programs and export the MP3 and just get the MP3s into your phone and play them at will. You can just play them in loop if you want in your pocket.
I'm not sure it's very relevant for you because it's very isolated. So I think
because what?
The mental is very important for that.
Right. Okay.
Your thoughts, your beliefs, your schemes, your pattern, because and so you can revisit all these schemes in look at
by
looking at picture you like.
But maybe I could start looking at ugly pictures I don't like, and they're going to become more beautiful because of the process, no? Je vais tourner des choses qui sont pas beaux dans quelque chose que j'aime.
Quelque chose que tu aimes, des picture of family, picture of children.
Yeah,
of great idea of this.
My granddaughter.
I don't know what inspire you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, merci.
Okay, any question on how to work with priorities? What we saw?
I have a basic question.
Yes.
So you say that we could run the harmonization while we're resting, or can we be walking? Can we and play it in our ears? I've been working out in the gym on the machine and playing it, because it's over 30 minutes, so I get more 30 minutes on the cardio.
Yeah.
And I found that to be very helpful for me. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Okay, great. And you can also play it with headphones in the pocket. It will do a very thin magnetic field that your body will get. And so if you just play it on loop, it will just inform your body with the relevant bioactive frequencies. So it's also another way to do it.
So I've also been doing other work, reading and different things while I'm doing my harmonization as well, because I realize that the subconscious is probably one of our biggest influences. And I feel like the subconscious is going to pick up these frequencies for more promotional of healing, even while I'm studying. So I've been doing that too, and I think that's a good thing.
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Frederick.
Yes.
So what I hear today, which is kind of new, but I'm just listening, and this whole 21-day, two things, 21-day cycle, which is probably a good place to start. I know you start with some basic programs and biomarkers, and when you introduce it, but it seems key to understand that this is a certain amount of time that we give to the, if you would call it the treatment or you want to call it the programming.
Yes.
And that something Christine said, which really struck me, was, something that we're not willing to accept to see. Do we play a passive role or an active role as not so much the practitioner, but the end user? I see the practitioner as somewhat a guide to position the end user to get the most out of the program by understanding what's going on, the process, and role the end user, how their attitude is in conjunction with the program to get the most from it.
It's a very interesting question, and it's down to the point of the philosophy of what we do in BioCoherence. In BioCoherence, the main thing we do is that we empower everybody to take back the power in his own hands about his own health. When you do the guided meditation, so what we call the personal guide, there is a voice that guides you, but it helps you visualize and manage your own inner energy and get connected with your organs and your meridians and your acupuncture points and so on in your own consciousness. It means that with the help of frequencies and with the help of the sound that is enveloping you and the voice, you will create some connections between your energy, your body, and your mind, which is a coherent system. But you will not go to see a professional and say, hey, this is my body, please do something with it, because I don't really know what this thing is, It will be quite the opposite. It will be, as a professional, you will help your clients find the relevant keys in this system. But you, as a client, you will use these keys and you will open the doors and you will be the main actor in your own journey. So yes, it is a very active point. It's kind of weird to say, okay, you do a meditation and it's very active, but a meditation is something very active. It's not something that you just relax and listen to and you do something else while you do it. When you really want to do it, your whole system is focused on one goal, and this goal is your health, And it just embarks your whole system, your energy, your body, and your mind all together. And it's guided in that. And the only point of that is you are doing your self-healing.
Quick question.
Yes.
How many measures do you do during a 21-day cycle?
I would say just a few would be okay. So maybe one per week. You can do it one every day if you want. But I would say if you have 5 or 6 or 7 data points, it's okay. Because anyway, the rotation is made in such a way that every item in the category are played once a day. So if you look at how it's done and you click on preview the program, you can see that every day it will change between, okay, I don't have a lot of priorities here. Let's add some new priorities. Sorry, it will be more efficient because I removed everything. Okay, now I have a lot of priorities. So let's go back. And here, if you click on preview the 21-day program, you will see for every day the resource and the priority will change every day. So you can change it here. And you see there are 3 meridians. So day 1 will be, for instance, large intestine. Day 2 will be kidneys. Day 3 will be liver. And again, day 1, large intestine, and so on. So this is a rotation around these 3 meridians, but there are 12 acupuncture points. So it will be only repeated once so day 1 to day 12 will be the 12 acupuncture points that have been selected, and then day 13 to the last day will be again the 12 points, probably in the same order. But if you do a reevaluation, this program can change because the order of things can change and the priorities can change. So each time you do a reevaluation, you will probably have a different order. The priorities will not change. The resource might change. The priorities will be decided by the practitioner, so it will not change, but the order of priorities might change too. So you see, if you do a reevaluation every 3 days, for instance, because nothing takes less than 3 days to play in total, it would be nice. But even if you do one reevaluation in the middle and one at the end, it would also help because at the extreme, if you don't do any reevaluation, your program will just go for the 21 days. But if you do some reevaluations, it will give you some data points like that, and eventually give you more information about what to stress, because it doesn't work so well as the other ones. So we will just try and improve these ones.
Yeah, what I found.
Sorry, just another thing. In the future, it will be more useful to do it every day when we introduce the time crystal melter, which doesn't exist yet, but which will need at least 8 or 16 measurements to identify your blockages. So when we have that, it will be recommended to do one reevaluation every day.
I've been doing it every 3 days or 4 days, and I've noticed that whatever, like I pulled my back working, and then some of the first things coming up, were back and everything. So the priorities on that moment, on that day, on that measure seem to be coming up first. So I thought, well, I shouldn't do it every day. I should just wait until the cycle goes through at least 3 days. At least that's what I want my patients to do. And then I was thinking, well, maybe once a week. So you clarified that for me. And thank you so much.
Yes, I think once a week it's okay. And also because you don't want, you at this point, it's not necessary to measure every day. When we will have these new functions, we will change the recommendations. But at this point, every 3 days or every week is okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Medrick, may I ask a question? Yes. So to go back a little ways, because actually I have a number of things to ask now. There's been a lot of good conversation. The first was as you were demonstrating working with the priorities, I believe that you were going into that from the main dashboard rather than from a report. Is that correct?
No, it's from a report. When
you're going through.
Yes, when you work on priorities, when you are on this page, you are always in an existing recording.
Yes. Okay.
And so from this, you could go to the priorities, and you can click on the plus from these categories, or you can click on the general plus here to see everything that you can add. Great. What you can do from the, but maybe this is what you call the main dashboard?
No, if you go back out of the report.
Okay, so if you go here, you are almost out of the reports. It means you are out of one specific measure. You can still go back to it like that. But if you start going into these folders, for instance, it will close and it will save and close, you see. And then you can, for instance, play your personal guide or something like that. And this is out of your specific measurements. Now you are going into the basic programs. So it doesn't take into account what it's measured on your system with the specific record.
So for instance, accessing personal guide right there from where you're at. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
This one.
Yes.
Okay. So
does that take you into your most current report that you've had open?
Exactly.
Okay.
This one is a marker of. You see, if I click on choose, I will have a lot of recordings.
Yes.
But one is the current personal guide that I'm currently doing, and it will be shown here. So here
Yep.
with one click, you can launch the harmonic boost, or you can just go directly to the personal guide. But if I click,
Yes.
it will actually open the record, you see, and
Yes.
and just prepare everything for your daily meditation.
And there was a question a little earlier about where to find the reevaluate button in the group, and that reevaluate button is right there.
Yes,
Just
it's
for
here, but
a
not
simple
on day
note.
one.
Yep, not on day one. That's great. So then going back to when we do reevaluate, and then you go back into your reports where you just were, where we could see all those reports. Is the reevaluation added in your list of reports as a whole nother report to look at, or is it contained within that one report?
Yes, it's an interesting question and something to clarify, and thank you for asking that. When you do evaluations, it stays in one report.
Okay.
So the spirit is one problem, one report. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you do an initial measure, it creates a new report. So if you click on new measure, it will create a new report, and it should be something that you will address in the next 21 days or the next month. So you do your initial measurements, you work on your priorities, you talk with the AI helpers if you want to get some clarification and so on.
Yes.
Give it a clear name. So this name should be somehow what you want to achieve in the next months, given your current condition. And every reevaluation will just enhance the data that we have on this particular record. So
yes, I think
that's why when you open a record, let me just show you that. When you open a record and you go, for instance, on body, you see that you can have several parts here, which is a kind of how the things are evolving. So sometimes you have to recalculate it. And you also find these different parts here.
Yes.
Okay. So each column is one reevaluation.
Yes. And that's all under one report. I seem to be making copies of a report somehow, and then I've had trouble to find the report that has my personal guide that I've gotten.
Yes, the copies.
The
copies is
furthest
the
down
bug.
the road.
So the copies is the bug. It shouldn't do copies. Sometimes it do some copies and it's a bug. It should be fixed.
I figured it was me being redundant somewhere.
No, it was me. But it's a question of managing the different people having access to the report, and sometimes it doesn't allow you to override the report, so it creates a new one. That's because it's very complicated to get the access rights between the user and the practitioner in a good way. So it leads to some bug, but it should be fixed.
That's very good. I think one thing that you mentioned is that I have not been doing consistently is I think it would be very important to make sure you make some name or reference or notation of the report rather than just relying on the date or something like that. But
which is actually an interesting point, because I just changed something when you save. Okay, so when you click on the title, you can give this. Sorry, I don't share the good one.
Could I make a reference to the reevaluation for the point of reevaluation in a?
Let me just show you that. And let me just show you that when you click on the title, you can give a clear title, and this should be your objective for the next month. Okay. You can add some comments, and these comments could be shared with the user if it's with a user. Okay, so the title and comments are decided together. But until yesterday, you had the possibility to save it for research. And I changed that yesterday to save as CAS report and description of CAS report, because it is actually more accurate. Instead of saving for research, you can now add something related to the case report that you are working on as a professional, and check it that it's an interesting case report. So here, you as a professional, you should say, my client has this condition and it has improved in this way and this way, and it has detected this thing and this thing, and it will be immensely valuable for us when we start collecting enough case reports that we have your own input as a professional to say what you have done with this particular client and what is the outcome from it.
Hendrik, can you explain the difference between the comments and then that?
Yes, it will be more clear if I work on a customer. So let me just open something from a customer, because that was one of my measure, but now I'm working on a customer and we are back up. If I click on the title on top, you see now it says title, information shared with the user, and comments, information shared with the user. It means that this title and this comments, if you share your record with your clients, they will be able to see it. Okay, so this is kind of a public comment that you can add for the, and this comment will also appear on your PDF report if you want. But if you save on the cloud and if you save as case report, this will be private. This will be only for you and for us, of course, in the research. So here you should act as a professional and explain your case reports. And maybe I should have something like that you authorize the publication of the case report or something like that, but we are not yet there. But at one point when we start collecting case reports and we find interesting reports, maybe we will just contact you directly to ask you permission about publishing it if we can. So right now, what we want to start doing is collecting case reports, and in the next version we will have the SF36 available at the beginning and at the end of what you do with the clients, so that we can get some real numbers on the evolution of things.
Excellent, thank you.
Can I ask a question about the personal guide? You have dive speed, personality, music, and end in wake and sleep.
Yes.
What is the dive speed and the personality? Is there some description of the different personality types, or it's just the name?
Okay, so the duration you have access to, so you can just change it and it will add or remove elements.
Right.
So you can just change it like that. The dive speed right now is pre-computed and should be adapted, but not yet. It will be one day adapted to your, let's say, your meditation abilities. It means when we have some biofeedback and we can measure how quick you can go into meditative states, it will allow to be adapted in real time. Right now, it's the same for everybody. Okay. The personality is computed, the music is computed, and the end you can change if you want the ending to go to a waking mode, or if you want the ending to go to a sleep mode, which will change the last part. So if you go to the end of meditation, which is based on your own chord, you will go to, you see, when you are ready, gently open your eyes and so on and so on. Whereas if you choose sleep and you open your meditation text again, you will go into a deep, peaceful slumber and so on. And the sound also should be very slowly going down, so that you can actually fall asleep and not be awaken at the end of the meditation. So it's also a good thing to do the meditation when you are falling asleep, because your consciousness is still here somehow, and you should be listening to the voice at a very low level if you're doing before sleeping. So just put either headphones or just a loudspeaker in your room at a very low level, and just put it on play and go to sleep.
And is there a description of how you evaluate personality types?
Yes, it's here. If you go to mind, personality, you will find more information here. Inward, outward.
Okay, so it's the 4 axes which are then named.
Yes, okay. and it computes the personality, which is the same as Myers-Briggs. MBTI.
Okay, the Myers-Briggs, that's right.
Which is in fact based on Jung.
Medrick,
And
can
the
you also
chord,
reference
the musical chord?
And the musical chord, yes, is also here. Sorry, Jason, I'm with you after that. In spirit, music.
Because you've given my chord has changed on different scans.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Music is not always the same, you know?
Right. So it's based on our resonant at the resonance holistically at the time of the scan. Okay.
Exactly.
everything?
Sorry, Jason, I cut you off there.
Oh, no. I was just going to mention on each of those screens. So it's funny because all questions seem to have a strong answer of depends, which is not uncommon in my experience in anything. And it's really that just like you just said, the measure is dynamic to where you are right now. So that will always change. Medrick, what I was going to ask is when you're on the screen right there, can you reference the question mark that's up in the corner of all of these windows that you're opening? Because what I have found is that when I go to these windows and I can open that informational right there where I'm at, it accesses a whole a whole text explaining the use of that particular reference in the information.
Yes.
Which is definitely good to be familiar with, and then listening to that video so that we have a good understanding, and then being able to give that reference also to the people that are using this. Because one thing that came up in the conversation a little bit earlier, one of the best things about having this is that I can demonstrate to my clients, or I can look for myself and start to understand how complicated our systems really are, and that there's a good amount of detail to become familiar with, because it gives you more opportunity in how you're choosing to manage your health. And the question in regards to the reevaluation in the meditation, from my experience, and I am not all the way through a program, I'm 17 days through a program, I can tell you that my experience with the guided meditation is extremely valuable, because I feel like it is speaking to the things that have come up in my scan. And then I practice those visualizations. That means I've gotten better at understanding my anatomy in that 17 days from multiple perspectives. And then I can use that understanding throughout the day when I'm not using the system.
That's exactly the point.
We get more familiar with ourselves, and it's not one tool that's going to solve every problem every time. If you're listening to the frequencies, but you're changing all the time, then you're not going to habituate a skill of using that in your system to adjust something. It's like being able to change your metabolism. The frequencies are doing the same thing. Somehow they're changing metabolism. They're changing the interaction of our nervous system. So there's good points, just like in an exercise program, there are good points to evaluate, but there are also good times to stay on a course and finish that course. So then you can see what has come from that, because you'll have a different plasticity based on the changes that you make versus the things that you stay consistent with until you actually build a habit out of that. So you'll get better at using your frequencies, won't we, Medrick? If we listen to the frequencies, our system will get better every day at using those. And if we're just changing them every day, or going after this point or that point or that point, aren't we actually dismissing the holistic viewpoint that the system is trying to give us?
Yes, and there is a reason for 21 days too. 21 days is the accepted duration to make a new neuron pathway in your brain, and it's also the accepted duration to change habits. And so a lot of different fields, be it in psychology or be it in neuroplasticity, has found that you need 21 days focused on one specific problem to train yourself into a new way of doing things. So it's actually very important to do the whole 21-day program on one specific problem and to identify this problem and all the priorities that go around this problem. And then
the system,
yeah,
the system is helping us, but it's us that is doing the work, no matter what the application is from.
Yes,
and if you're considering, it's not that one thing dismisses the relevance of the other things that you're doing to guide your system. It's that all things are part of this. This gives us a good holistic assessment. But from my experience, the guided meditation is wonderful. It's simple. You don't have to overthink things. It includes a lot of reference to you personally. And I think that as we practice listening to that guide, reference the particular points in our anatomy, the particular points in our personality, the particular points in even just our energetic anatomy from the Chinese medicine point of view, which maybe you're more oriented to an allopathic understanding of your anatomy. And as you start to listen to these meditations, you'll become more familiar with a common reference between allopathic anatomy or physical anatomy and energetic anatomy. And for my experience, that is beneficial, because then I can go ahead and reference that throughout the day. I don't have to be listening to the meditation. I don't have to be listening to the frequency. I can go, oh yeah, I'm going to remember this because this is an aspect of what I'm trying to be. And then the practice becomes all day, every day. And these are just tools to bolster that.
And
but
thanks for saying it, because of course we did 1,000 things in this app, but so maybe I never said it, but when we wrote all the meditations, we wrote it with very specific goals in mind. And one of these goals was easy visualization of everything that happens in your system, be it organs, be it emotions, be it acupuncture points. The idea is that everything should be easy for anybody to be accustomed with it. So I'm very happy that for you.
And I will add to that in my experience so far in using that is the most it's the most productive, it's the most profound, it's the most useful, because it's something that I'm habituating. And I can feel it. So then the experiences that I have with the frequencies, I feel are also more useful and more
resonant.
Yeah, more proprioceptive in my system.
Yeah, great.
So
it's great because when you consider your body as your friend and your mind and your body and your energy working together, all with the same goal and all in the same system, everything works fine. Everything works better,
Yeah, we're working with ourselves. We're using a tool to work with ourselves. We're not working. If all the focus goes outside of yourself to the tool, you might be missing the boat a little bit, because it's all parts that are important. And this is an assessment which is fantastic, because it's a holistic assessment that there again brings lots of reference to be accessible, or to have as the opportunity for the point which you press the system and make a difference. But going back to the measurement, your measurement is only relevant to where you're measuring from, like the perspective that you're taking things from. And so it's always beneficial to take things from multiple perspectives, like subjective. How do I feel? What does the system say? And then even something secondary or third step to that is great. We've talked about other measurement, maybe some measurement that you're doing with another practitioner or your doctor, that you can correlate all those things. But
and I think that's why also the new causal chain is very interesting, because it can help you start with a precise claim on a precise symptom or a precise condition, and just dig around and see everything that could be connected and work on it. And I think it's a very good way to address the normal way of doing things in medicine, is that you come for a condition and you want to be treated on this condition. So you can work with your clients saying, okay, let's see everything that is around your condition. And you will find some incredible things around that in all these different categories. But the client will be confident because you started with this complaint. And it's very important to listen to the initial complaint, somehow. So if the client comes and say, I don't see my complaint in the priorities, you can say, okay, let's work around your complaint and let's start with that. And after the initial 21 day, if he sees a lot of changes, he will have much more confidence in the maybe automatic priorities for the next time. And he will say, okay, it seems your system is working for me. So let's try the automatic way and see how it works. And maybe it's another way of doing things, but it's very important to be able to answer to the initial issues that the client can come with.
Yeah, and present that the system can show that some of the things that you do in your toolbox are useful through the the eyes of the system too. So you can correlate those things, and it's not just about it's not just about the frequencies as the tool, but I would say that. And again, I don't want to be long-winded, but from my perspective, if I were to start with a client today, the first thing that I would do is to tell them not to worry about all the details right now, to look through and enjoy getting familiar from a novel point of view, but go through your meditation, because it's the easiest thing you can do without having to learn a lot of things, without having to do a lot of steps. And if you don't take advantage of the first basic thing that's delivered without having to do any other steps and actually see what the result is after you practice, because if no one's getting to the practice because they're jumping around to all the details, if no one's completed a 21-day meditation program, then how can you say what your experience is?
I agree with you, but it's also very important that people have the feeling to work on some things that they are concerned with. So it's also important to, if they come with a specific concern, it must be addressed somehow. So if nothing is in the priorities, you should explain why it's not. And if they want it to be in the priorities, it should be included somehow, because you must have adhesion to the system. And most people need their initial complaint to be answered at the beginning, and then see that there is some effect, and then they can do some wider work. So it depends on how you work. Maybe you can tell maybe you can explain how you work to your customers, and they will not come for a specific thing because they know that with you something will happen. But it really depends on how your clients will receive the possibilities of working differently.
And
Jay, one last question. I'm sorry.
Can I say this? In my experience with my clients, some of them love the meditation part and some don't want anything to do with it yet.
Yeah, sure.
You have to go with what, like the meditation, like some of my clients they've never meditated. So doing that is just like too much. But then I have other clients who meditate every day and they love it. So just like going to like whatever works for the person. That's why I like that you could turn it off or listen to it.
Yeah.
Wonderful program. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's also why we called it personal guide instead of meditation, because some people are afraid of meditation. Yes, Dan and TJ.
Yes, thank you, Jason. I'm looking at my scans, and I want to go back to the and it might just be a bug, but I see several duplicates, but I opened up they all have the same date, and
yes, it's definitely a bug.
Well, but I know, okay, so, but I purposefully opened that one up again, and then maybe I should have went to comments, because
okay, try this. Let me just show you. When you click on choose here and you have your items, if you click on update, it will rebuild your local file list and maybe it will remove some duplicates. So you can just click on update and rebuild the list.
Oh, okay. Because I did that and it got rid of some of the duplicates. I just didn't click on all of them. But when I did add comments, like I did a scan before I took a walk, my normal walk. And then when I got back and it was a longer walk. And then when I got back, I did another scan and I put that in the comments, and it didn't give me the time. It just showed the comments. But the header, like January 17th, I've saved both of them. So because I added the comments, or what I'm trying to understand is if it's not an evaluation, a reevaluation, I guess, because I wasn't in the meditation. I was just looking at what showed up. So maybe those are two different scans now, even though they're done on the same day.
If it's following the bug, it's the same that is duplicated. So in this way, if it's the same date, it's the same scan anyway.
Okay, that's good to know, because I really wanted it to be the same scan. I was just playing around. I wasn't doing the meditation like you said. I was looking at specific things, like my right knee is a genetic problem. It's been that way all my life. Okay, well, I did a longer walk today, only this time I didn't put the hills into the walk. I did a longer walk on more level terrain. And
so I just checked on the cloud and there are no duplicates on the cloud. So it's only on your device. So if you click on update, it should rebuild the list. And if there are some duplicates, you can just delete the duplicates and just keep one. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That answered my question. Thank you.
TJ? TJ?
Hey there.
Yeah.
Well, first too, on the update part, when I'm updating, it's taking me out of the app and almost starting it over. So I don't know if you know that on there or if it's supposed to be that way.
Yes, when you update it, it leads to the App Store. When you click on update.
No, I mean on the or reload data.
Yes.
Like it seemed like that used to work better before the update, and now it's like kind of changing my screen. So I'm just wondering if that's supposed to be that way or not.
When you click on reload all data?
Yeah.
Yeah, it leads to the intro screen.
And that, okay.
Yeah, but it's normal. It's the only way to get back to the intro screen, and we wanted to have a way to see the intro screen, but maybe we will just remove it. Yes.
But it only stays there for a second, though. Like I've just done
then you have to. Then it says enter a code or just go around it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, it used to not be like that before the update, and it's
no. It's
so
normal, and it's the only way to see how people see it the first time they launch the app.
Yeah.
This is the way that when people install the app for the first time, you will have this intro screens, and it will ask you for an invitation code if you have one, because this invitation code can link you to a particular pro or can lead to specific personalization of the app.
But if we're in there, we don't have to put a code. It's just going to start us out. Okay. All right. And what I wanted to ask there, as far as the meditation, and I want to make sure that I understand this right too, because people are asking, the harmonic boost has all your priorities playing through and everything.
Yep.
When you do the meditation, you have more layers of frequency, but the priorities, you're stringing them out, so you're only hitting one or two each day.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. So you don't have all your harmonic boost, you have only the one for the day.
Okay. And then what are those other layers that you're getting with the meditation? It's like a gray noise and a binaural.
Yes. So let me just go there. When you launch a personal guide, you will have the buttons now. Every button. Sorry, let's go for it. So you will have the voice. Oh, sorry. Misclicked. Okay, I can just explain it anyway. You have the voice that you can mute. You have all the frequencies together that you can mute, and you have the white noise that you can mute or put at a half level. But all the frequencies are grouped together, meaning the white ones, which are linked to the organs or to the emotions or to the meridians and so on. The blue ones that you can add, which are the protocols, and the light blue ones, which are the binaural beats. Everything is grouped together into this frequency layer. Okay. You removed.
If you just do the harmonics, it is and you're in the 21-day program, it is just the harmonics for that day,
yes.
Right? And then the next day will be different harmonics.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, but that's why maybe it's interesting to play the harmonic boost separately, because in the harmonic boost, you will have your whole program playing. And it's also why in the harmonic boost, you can export it only for energy, only for the body, only for the mind, only with influences or high attention dispersed, or only with protocol. All of this will allow you to play your whole set of priorities, but for instance, only addressing what is related to energy. So if you are on a very low energy level, for instance, you can play this energy subpart as much as you want, but don't play the one with protocol too often, because this one will ask more of your system. So if you want the complete program, you will have everything, but you can do one with protocol, which you can play, I don't know, every 2 days, for instance, every other day. And you can have one for the energy or for the body that you can play every day or every morning, for instance. Okay.
Yeah, that's good, because I have so many things I need to work on. My list is up the charts, man.
Yes, but that's why you don't do everything every day in the meditation. But if you want to make a big export, one detail, we had to limit the export length from the harmonic boost if you create an MP3. So if you want the full harmonic boost, play it directly from the app, so it can be full length. But if you do an export, it will be limited in time, and it will be more limited on a mobile than on a computer. If you export from a computer, you can export an MP3 that could be something like 30 minutes. But if you export from a mobile phone, it will be only 10 minutes because of memory constraints.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, please.
So when I do a client here at my house and they have the app on their phone, how do I get it from my computer to their application on their phone? Is there
what is your computer? Is it a Mac? Is it a Mac or Windows?
Say that again?
Your computer, is it a Mac or a Windows?
Mac.
Mac. On a Mac, you can directly share from the app. You can click on share, and it will allow you to send it directly through different ways, like messages, WhatsApp, maybe AirDrop, and so on.
Oh, and I understand that, but how do I get it directly to their app on their phone?
To their app, sorry. They just have to open the record, and it's in there. So you just have to share the record with them. And when they open the record, it's in their app.
But it hasn't been working like that. That's what I'm saying.
It should have.
I'll check it again, because we've updated everything, so maybe things are different.
Yes.
Just had not been that way, so I will try now.
Yes, when you share a record with your customer, he will have access to the harmonic boost and to the personal guide that you decided in the record. So he should have a direct access to it.
But it has not been working like that, just FYI.
Okay, so maybe we'll see together to check that.
Okay, great.
When you go into the report and you select to share access to this record, and you select
Every time,
and you choose invite, and
Yep.
you hit send email, and they don't receive that email.
Well, yeah, you can send an email with the frequencies in it, right? But what I want to know is how can I send from
Yes. What you should do is share access to this record, share with your clients, of course. And if this is checked, it should have a direct access to it. So if it doesn't work, there is a problem somewhere, but it should work like that.
So
It's
this is different. This right here, Medrick, is different than what it was before.
Yes, this is since
I have not seen this. Can you go backwards and show me again how to get here? Oh, there it is. Okay, share the access to this record, right?
share access to this record, and now you have this option.
It used to be just share with the contact. That's all it said.
Yes, but now you have new options. But this is since it's very old. It has almost 2 weeks, I think. So you should update.
I've never been able to get it from my computer directly to their application on their phone. It has never worked that way.
Okay, so try and update the latest version from biocoherence.net/install and try again. And if it doesn't work, get in touch with Stephen or with me, and we will try and get to the bottom of it.
Definitely
this is working for me regularly.
Yes, it should be working. It's working for me. So I don't know what's your specific problem, Laura, but we will make it work.
What if you use a PC?
If you use a PC, you cannot share directly. There is no share option on the PC, so you can only save. But I misunderstood her question. She wanted to share the report, so it's the same for everybody. When you share a record with your customer, it's the same for everybody. I understood she wanted to share the MP3. And this is different. If you want to share the MP3 on a Mac, you have a share option that you can send directly through WhatsApp or through messages or email and so on. On a PC, you have to save it on your computer and send it from your system.
But this is the thing. When I share it to them, to their computer, right?
Yes.
That, like my mom, she has no phone, like it's just right on her computer. So she can't get the meditations.
No, you cannot get the meditation. You cannot export the meditations.
Right. She can't get the meditations.
No, you cannot export the meditation, only the harmonic boosts.
Right.
But you can export the PDF report to your client via email without access to the tools. That's not what you're asking.
It should be the same for the MP3s, but I think it's not yet implemented for the MP3s. But at one point, it would be possible to send by email the MP3s directly from our server.
Yeah.
Like for the
PDFs have always gone through.
Right.
PDFs go perfect.
Yes.
The MP3s or the Wave, I've tried the Wave too.
No, the Wave is too big. Yes, you have to wait for the MP3s and save them. Or at one point, it should be possible to send them like we do for the reports, but not yet.
Yeah. When is that going to happen? That would be wonderful. Okay, someday.
So will the PC ever get a chance to have a get ported to WhatsApp or Telegram or?
Not to my knowledge, because it doesn't exist on PC. This feature doesn't exist on PC. It's specific to Mac or to iOS or to Android, but not on Windows.
I have Telegram. I just generated a scanner, a QR code, and I have Telegram on my PC.
Then it's easy. You save the MP3 on your desktop and you open it with Telegram and you send it. But it cannot be directly.
But it's not ported. Yeah, no. You can't port it. Okay. Thank you.
So you have to save it in your downloads folder or something like that, and then just reopen it from the other app. Okay, maybe we'll call it a day.
Nearly 2 hours.
Yes.
Sorry to the people watching this.
Can I ask you
just a question?
Yeah. Okay, please, Anton.
just one question, because my wife is doing also the guided personal guide, and she gets a lot of changes in between the days without doing reevaluate. Is
Yes,
this
that's
something?
normal. It's normal.
That's normal.
Yeah, there is a rotation between priorities so that there is one priority for every category every day.
Yeah, I understand, but I have a different. For me, the priorities are pretty much the same, because usually she does she gets inside and doesn't do the meditation, and then comes like later, and then it changes. And for me, it's pretty much the same. Maybe when I do reevaluate, then it changes something, but it stays the same. So it's a big difference
with the same record.
Yeah, on the same record. And the last thing that I had with my recordings, when I sent you that ticket the last time, it was one recording that get separated in 2 or 3 separated recordings.
Yes, that's a duplication bug.
Yeah, and then because of that, it get like 3 recordings of 5 days, like let's say like this. But it was all the one recording. But
yes, you should have the same information on every record, because it's just the file that is saved on a different name in some conditions. So it's the same.
No, it's the same 20-day program with the reevaluate inside.
Yes.
Just only that the last record, he somehow he snatched like 240 beats to this record and split to 240 in this primary, like let's say file. No, I started a new one. It's not important. Just I wanted to.
I just hope this bug is solved, because it seems to create a lot of problems for you. So I'm sorry for that.
No, it's something that at the beginning I didn't because of this mailing and stuff usernames, but now it's okay. It's pretty much good. Yeah. And it has because I use PC, I use Android, and okay, iOS I don't use, but my father has it. But it's working it's working pretty well. So
okay, cool.
This is not a problem. But okay. Everything's fine. And beginning what it said, that with healing the body that doesn't get other pro people that tell you what to do, you can use it by yourself. Yeah, it's very, very cool, and it's something that I think it's very nice to get to the people. Yes. Thanks a lot, and hear you. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I'll stop the recording.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks to everybody.